Alright, this is just a general introduction to the greenhouse and some of the things I've been dealing with in here. This is January 30th, 2014, and just wanted to kind of do a general overview of what I've been dealing with. I've got some tomato plants here, running a Dutch bucket system in these. Got a 20-gallon tote up underneath it, supplying the solution for these 4 buckets. Got 2 plants per bucket. Well, if you notice the plants, I've got some leaf curling. I had a frost issue here about a week ago. The heater that I'm currently using in this greenhouse decided to quit on me in one of the coldest nights of the week, and it was about 12 degrees outside, and the greenhouse in here got just at the freezing temperature. A lot of dead foliage now on these tomato plants. These tomato plants are actually in a underground heated grow box. Still have fruit on them, but a lot lost a lot of the foliage. And as you can see, some of the plants are still doing decently. Got some flowers on some of them, even though the frost killed most of the flowering. Fruit still trying to get ripe here. What I thought was interesting is the last 2 plants, the ones furthest away from the heating source, were fine. No issues with them. Very little frost at all hit these. They are a different kind of tomato plant than the rest of them. The rest of them were Romas. Those, I believe, are either a beefsteak or a better boy, and didn't have any problems with those. As we turn around and look down the greenhouse, you see all the plants, and not looking so good. This is a 12 by 20 PVC constructed greenhouse. Got a little fodder system going on right here. Trying to set this up. We're going to probably put a pretty good sized system up in the new building that I'll be building. This building again is only a 12 by 20, and been growing in here for 2 seasons using this grow box that I built. This is again under the floor or underground heated. I'll show you some of the plumbing for it. Got pipes coming in. The shorter ones are the hot water in, the longer one is the hot water out. There's actually 5 loops going back and forth. They don't all come from one side, but back and forth across this box. And then the plumbing goes underground here and up to the tanks. It goes from this tank to the fireplace in my house. I actually have a wood-burning stove that I use to do primarily the heating of my house. And the water goes around the flue pipe into the grow box under the ground, heats the soil up to about 7 degrees, and then comes back to these tanks. It's a completely open system, so I don't have to worry about an explosion on the copper pipe around the pipes in the house, although I do have a pressure and temperature regulator on those things that'll pop off if it gets too hot. But I have fired that thing for about a day and a half without the pumps running and didn't have any problems. This is my control box for this greenhouse. As you can see, I'm using a standard programmable thermostat, household thermostat. I've run this thermostat in this greenhouse for over 3 years now. Actually was sitting on the shelf for about 5 years between this building and the one prior to it. But this automatically switches from heat to cold and controls the power louver that I've built. That's the system that's sitting up on top with the different pulleys and chain. That opens my louvers for the fan, and it automatically turns on the fan. What I've done with this thermostat, it requires a 24-volt power supply, and I've wired a 24-volt transformer in. That's off to the left-hand side. And then for each system that it tries to control, I've got a relay set up here. The right-hand one is the fan only. The middle one is the cooling relay, and the left one is my heating relay. The heat system for this building is not hooked up to this. The blue wire that you see going to that left-hand relay is a low-temperature alarm that I have put in, and unfortunately I did that the day after I had a frost problem in here and my heater gave me a problem. But I do have an alarm in here now, and it actually went off last night. I had to come back in here and relight the fire and get things back up to temperature. The 2 switches or contact switches to the left, far left, control the distance that the louvers open and close, and changes the direction of the motor as it calls for cooling and does, or tells the cooling that it doesn't need to be working anymore. That controls this motor, turns the gears, pulls this chain that actually connects to a cable all the way over here, and then the louvers are just a wooden box that has a couple of pieces of Dutch lap vinyl in them. There's a little bit of an air gap there. It's not completely sealed. I'm going to work on that this summer as I rebuild this wall and get rid of the pipe construction on the end walls and go to a wood construction to help seal it. As you can see under the door, I've got a lot of leakage right there, and I'm going to try to tighten this building up this summer so that I won't have as many issues this winter, and my heater will be able to handle what I need to do in here. That's just one of the different things that I do as far as taking things that I have around here. The box actually was donated to me from a gentleman that had a security system taken out of his house, and then I built the inside of the guts of that box to get what I needed for the greenhouse. And again, that was just a basic description of what I'm doing here. I've got a little bit of hydroponics I'm playing with the tomatoes. I've been doing some in-ground growing and have to work on my soil in that box to get it up this summer to do some more work for the winter. This is my winter greenhouse that I'm trying to grow for our own house. And just a couple of things that I was getting, just trying to get together and let everybody know what I've been doing, some of the different modifications I try to do. And Lord willing, we'll see y'all next time.